Hey guys, it's Courtney. I am doing my video on Saturday because I had to take a break for a little bit this week. But I'm excited to do this video. I just got back from the gym, so I'm looking like a mess again. So that's 2 weeks in a row. You see post-gym me, but I wanted to do my video in this awesome tank top, so decided to take one for the team and let everybody see that. This week's topic on Gender Roles Are Dead is religion, and just talking about each of our religious experiences, how that affects our lives, how we were raised, what we are now, and how being queer, or whatever we identify as, affects our religious beliefs or whatever. I think it's awesome. I think it's a great topic. I think a lot of people shy away from talking about stuff like religion and politics too often because people feel really strongly about those things, and people end up fighting, and it's just kind of contentious topics. But I think it's good to talk about stuff like this and just talk about them with respect, and just know that everybody has a differing opinion, and that you just respect everybody's opinions, and you just let people live their lives, you know? Like, I've been friends with very, very religious people, and I've been friends with atheists and every other type, and I love having conversations with every one of them. So, that's just my point of view on sharing your religious views or talking about stuff like that. That could be a conflict. But my personal religious experience is that I was raised in the South. I was raised in Texas. I was raised Southern Baptist, which is like some of the most conservative people you'll ever meet, especially down in the Bible Belt. So, yeah, that's my background. That's every Sunday when I was little, my mom would dress us all up, and we would have to wear dresses and be very formal and go sit through a very conservative standard sermon. And I think that I just like resented it from the very beginning because I hated dressing up, I hated curling my hair, I hated wearing dresses, I hated how stuffy the whole experience was. And the older I got, the more church just felt like a guilt trip. Like, every single time, I swear, like, we stopped going as often the older I got, so we would just like go on holidays or, once a month. Every sermon that I went to, every service felt like it was like directly aimed at me, By the time I was dating women and I was pretty like accepting of the fact that I was gay, it was like that sermon was about being gay. And I'm not about the guilt trip. I don't have time for it. I don't want to like sit there and be made to feel bad about myself for my choices. I don't know. So I just, yeah, that's how I felt about that. We switched from being Southern Baptist to, we went to Methodist church, which was way more laid back. You could go to church in your jeans and your t-shirts, which was cool. So I could wear boy clothes. But it's still, I never really fit into it. I wasn't as, I just wasn't into it like everybody else was. I am not a put my hands up and sing along and dance type of person, so I just kind of felt left out. And then so that's my personal experience with religion. So now I don't really associate with anything. My grandma is still very, very religious. She is super conservative. My family doesn't really go to church anymore. My mom brings up God and the Bible and stuff when it comes to hard times in her life. So she will rely on prayer and stuff like that. So that's fine. But I kind of take issue with the fact that people become very religious a lot of the time when being gay or trans or queer at all, or liberal or different. It seems like when you kind of start to identify with those opposing lifestyles or whatever, people are all of a sudden very, very religious and start quoting the Bible at you. which I don't like. A lot of the very, very worst people that I've ever met are the most religious people. But that's not to say that every Christian is bad. I just don't believe in shoving your religion down anyone's throat. I don't believe in guilting people. I don't believe in telling people they're going to hell. And pretty much the only people who tell people they're going to hell are really big Christians. You know, atheists don't do that. That was a religious joke. But on the flip side of that, two of my longest standing best friends were super, super religious. I'm not friends with one of them anymore, but the other one I've been friends with since elementary school, and she absolutely practices what she preaches when it comes to loving everybody, not judging anyone, and has never had a problem, has been very accepting of me and Chris being gay and Chris being trans, and it's just, she's a wonderful person, and her religion is a very huge part of her life, and that's awesome, and that's great. And we've had many a conversation where she educates me and Chris, and we just talk, and it's great, and it's enlightening, and I just think that it's good for people to believe different things. Also, the older I got, the more that I learned science-wise, so once I learned about evolution and biology and all that sort of stuff, I kind of was like, I don't understand how this all adds up. So I kind of stopped believing everything that I was told in regard to religion. In my opinion, the Bible is a work of fiction. It's a very awesome work of fiction. It's the best-selling work of fiction of all time. There's a lot of good stories, but they're stories that were written by white men with white men's intentions, and there's really no place for women in the Bible. There's no place for people of color in the Bible. There's no place for anybody in the LGBTQ community in the Bible as it was written way back when by a bunch of white guys who wanted to put down anybody without an education, anybody who was illiterate, anybody who wasn't them. So I just I think it's good for people to rely on religion. I don't think people should use religion as a tool to oppress people, but I've taken a lot of time to learn about a lot of different religions. I've taken classes on them. I've learned a lot through art history, and I have interest in pursuing more knowledge on other religions because I was raised enough to know about Christianity, enough to know it's just probably not for me. So I think I really am interested in Buddhism and stuff that's less reliant on the whole heaven, hell, sin concept and more just on being a good person. I think that's a great thing to do. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I rambled a lot. This is the longest video I've made easily. But I hope that it was semi-interesting, and I hope that this maybe sparks conversations with everybody. You guys come and comment on the channel, on the videos, send comments our way on our Tumblr, and spark up conversations with your friends. And I hope you have a good week.